Now, this is today's Times of India, and here you can see this full page ad for Paytm. This is in the context of the 500 and 1000 rupee notes being withdrawn by the Indian government to be replaced by other notes. And in that context, we are looking at this image of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Now, one can't help but wonder when it comes to these kind of advertisements. See, Paytm is a private enterprise. It is not a government company. And to have the image of the Prime Minister in such advertisements, is it really fair and is it really fine? Is it acceptable? Because everything else is completely to do with Paytm. Now you can see here that pay with Paytm to more than 15 crore people and businesses join the revolution. Ab ATM nahi Paytm karo. Download the Paytm app, which is available across different mobile operating systems. The method of doing so is mentioned at the bottom. The text above says Paytm congratulates Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi on taking the boldest decision in the financial history of independent India, and there's the image of him below it. Now, if one turns the page, here is Paytm, sponsor of mobile payments in India. Just Paytm to pay every shopkeeper near you without any additional fee. Ab no ATM, only Paytm. And it goes on to show the different kind of payments that you can make: electricity, parking, milk booths, auto rickshaws, restaurants, grocery stores, petrol pumps, chemists, street food, movies, and also the fact that it's accepted at 800,000 merchants, including these. I'll just give you a quick glimpse: Spencer's, Big Bazaar, More, Barista, Indian Oil, HP, Bata, Mother Dairy, Haldirams, and many more join the Paytm revolution. So that's pretty much what these series of full page ads are showing. See, especially because these advertisements, they give opportunities to people like Kejriwal to open their mouths and then speak against the Prime Minister. Because, see, what he said is it's utterly shameful that Prime Minister Modi's photo was being used by private online payment firm Paytm. He says it's utterly shameful. Do people want their PM to model for private companies? Tomorrow, if these companies do wrongdoings, who will act against them? Paytm, biggest beneficiary of PM's announcement. Next day, PM appears in its ads. What's the deal, Mr. PM? These are the kind of remarks that Kejriwal has made. Now, see, most of us will agree, and probably all of us will accept the fact that Kejriwal is more or less a clown. But nonetheless, he makes a valid point here. So one should not just go against people just for the sake of doing so, but rather when it comes to somebody making a valid point, one should at least look at that point, and not just ridicule it for the sake of doing so, just because you don't like that person or that person's party. Now, he had said that on Wednesday too, his party had said that the government's demonetization of these notes was a Tughlaqi farman, or a diktat from Tughlaq, which going on to state that the move was made to favor big businessmen who hold black money. Now, how this can be substantiated, one can only wonder. But this point about the Prime Minister modeling for private companies, this is something which one does need to think about. That should Prime Minister Modi's image, because see, in all likelihood, he's probably not modeled for it as such. It's just the fact that his image has been used. But under such circumstances, his permission should be taken. Whether his permission has been taken, if you recall the Reliance Jio advertisements, they also featured Prime Minister Modi and the same image of him in their ads. So now Paytm is also doing it. So one can't help wonder if there is a connection. First Jio started, and then now this Paytm, and there are these series of moves which are being done to demonetize, which will of course ensure that more people use Paytm. So it's definitely a move which is highly beneficial for Paytm. So if at all there is a deal, this point about Kejriwal is making, what's the deal? That's something which people are forced to at least wonder about.